Greetings, it is I, Tempest Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue my discussion on the Pathfinder role-playing game system. I've been going over the races you can play in Pathfinder. Not your standard races, mind you, your elves, dwarves, humans, etc., but the more unusual races. So today I have for you the Gillmen. So the Gillmen are a unique race as they were once human. Many of these races actually do seem to have a basis in humanity, but Gillmen were part of an ancient empire that some kind of cataclysm forced it to sink beneath the waves. This cataclysm may have been caused by Aboleths, because the remainder of this civilization, this kingdom, were grabbed up by the Aboleths, and through their dark magics, changed to become creatures that were more amphibious, better suited to serve them. Effectively, they became emissaries for the Aboleths upon the surface world so that they may spread out from their deep aquatic locations. Now, effectively, Gillmen have been abandoned mostly by Aboleths when we come into this more modern version of Golarion, Pathfinder's world. But Gillmen still have problems. They have kind of psychic scars of the Aboleths' mind control and conditioning deep within their minds, and many of them regret the heritage that was lost before their civilization sunk into the waters. Gillmen find that other races distrust them. The fact that they have been under the control of Aboleths, and that Aboleths can easily control them even now, means that they're always suspected as being agents of Aboleths. Though most of them, the vast majority of them, have little to no connection with Aboleths anymore. The thing is, this has also caused the Gillmen themselves to be leery of others. They're always suspecting that someone else is using them for a purpose. So they always look at even someone that may be called an ally with leery eyes, suspecting that they might be planning something with them. Now, Gillmen look fairly human when you first see them, but the gills on their neck are a dead giveaway, and vibrant purple eyes also are very noticeable that, hey, this is a Gillmen. They can have skin color of sandy white, peach, salmon, kind of sandy brown. Their hair is often dark brown and black, though some sea-based colors do appear for hair color. Now, a disadvantage of Gillmen is they are bound to the water. They must dive into the water once per day or their skin starts to crack and dry out, then their organs begin to fail, and eventually they die. So they need that contact with water every day. Gillmen prefer their own kind and will be in small communities of, well, Gillmen. If they are associating with other races, it will traditionally be humans and merfolk, which they'll often act as messengers or traders with them, rather than a direct kind of allyship. Now, there are always rumors that a Gillman somewhere is working for an Aboleth as some kind of spy, saboteur, infiltrator, and occasionally some are found. And that perpetuates the overall myth that all Gillmen are still related to Aboleths, because there's still a couple that are in service of them. They are weak to their mind control, so it's pretty easy for one to get into the service of one. And the fact is, sometimes these thralls are willing, sometimes they're knowing, sometimes they just don't know what's been going on, that their mind is fuddled. So there's a lot of circumstances behind all this, but it just doesn't show up the same way. Now, Gillmen do have those larger communities, but they tend to congregate in actually family groups, and that is the basis of their society. Small family groups that travel together. Those larger communities, again, do exist, but this leeriness, untrustworthiness keeps them from really connecting together. But the fact is that since they are so separate, many Gillmen tend towards gaining their own experiences and knowledges, and therefore there are a good number of Gillmen adventurers out there. It is something that is very easy for them to get into because they have to rely on themselves because of small groups and leeriness. Gillmen find it difficult to make friends with other races, but when they do, earning them trust means that you've earned someone that is a good pal to have, a good companion. Many Aboleth adventurers seek out rumors of their former Aboleth masters in order to battle against them, or villains that are working for them. Effectively, they are very anti-Aboleth. They might search for powerful allies and artifacts that will help them in the fight against the Aboleths. to defeat them and to overcome their ancient masters. Many of them also do seek information as a key. They could seek information on the fallen kingdom they were members of, why the Aboleths created them, why they had them serve them, why they gave them up mostly. These are information that many Gillmen seek the answers to, where we came from, why we were formed this way. It's information that they hope to find. They hope that overcoming this past, which kind of haunts them, will help them build a future as a race, together. Now, let's talk about the racial traits of a Gillman. So Gillman gets better constitution and charisma, but loses out on some wisdom. They have a normal land speed, but they also have a swim speed. Because they have a swim speed, they also have swim as a class skill, no matter what class they take. Now, Gillmen are resistant to enchantments. Basically, they get bonuses against enchantment spells, except from Aboleths. That resistance is completely removed and included instead as a penalty against Aboleths. So there is a 4 difference in the bonus they have to saves versus any other enchantments and versus Aboleths, which is a pretty major difference. That's why Aboleths are easy to control them. Now, of course, as I mentioned, they are water dependent. It is a trait that they have, that they need to dunk into water once a day or they start to actually die. If you haven't submerged yourself within that amount of time, you roll 4d6, and that amount of time is how long you have to live. You have to get back into water. They're also amphibious, can breathe air and water just the same. So, let's talk about some alternate racial traits for Gillmen. There, of course, is Deep Gillmen. They gain some dark vision, they're never on the surface, so they have problems going up. They're not as amphibious as our surface-dwelling ones. There's river-based Gillmen, which don't have to worry about the water dependency as much. They basically can use they're adapted a little better for less water. There are some that are from the depths that are adapted to still going to the surface, but they still need more water. They modify their water dependency to be even 12 hours. Some of them are more trained to fight against Aboleths. They've overcome their normal enhanced enchantment resistances / penalties to Aboleths and just gained bonuses versus fighting them. Some of them have an innate toxin to them. Basically, they've got venom associated with them. And some are not aquatic. These are throwbacks that effectively gain some of the basic Gillman traits, but don't have the ability to swim or the aquatic, basically, amphibious abilities. They're almost human. Now, for favorite class options, they have some pretty good ones. Their rogues work towards a rogue talent. Both sorcerer and wizard get bonus spells for Gillmen. Of course, wizard, you're just getting it in your spell book. Sorcerer, bonus spells known. These have to be a level less than your maximum level, but still, that's very good. That's always very good. Now, Gillmen do have a racial archetype for a class. For rogue, they have Eldritch Raider. Eldritch Raiders are specialized rogue that seek out lore, they seek out artifacts and objects of power from the ancient kingdom that they once came from, as effectively to help rebuild their glory. They have things like the ability to detect magic, access to greater types of magic mastery than your average rogue does with some specialized rogue talents, and some bonuses to use magic device. So they're much more magical based without going the full route of something like an arcane trickster. They're somewhere in between. They make it that the minor and major magic, which are okay, better. They layer upon these to make a more advanced and more powerful rogue. But that's it for today. So I introduced you to the Gillmen, a race of humans, well, created by Aboleths. Horrible, aquatic, deep abominations. That's an Aboleth with mind-controlling powers. They are terrible creatures. Alien things, which do horrible things to creatures of the surface. Very dangerous. And they created this race. They abandoned it too, mostly. So the Gillmen have this legacy that they fight against. And they try to overcome. But distrust. Distrust of them and of others. It's just ingrained in there. Something they cannot overcome no matter how hard they try is that level of distrust that they just want to overcome it, but can't. Gillmen are still an interesting race, and quite a powerful race. If you're looking for something interesting. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. If you have any Gillmen characters that you've played in the past, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your great stories about them. Maybe it's some epic battles with Aboleths. Maybe you didn't do anything related to them at all. And remember to check out my links below, my Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon. Great ways to check out what I'm doing, see my other content, and show me support. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.